Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hello, hello, hello! Oh no, is my please tell me the chat's actually picking up chat. Let's see. Look at the YouTube chat. So test. I see people type stuff here and it hasn't picked them up. So if I do test, it did pick up the test. So hopefully it's working now. Hello, there we go. Success! Look at this, we have a little border. How fancy, And it has like fun facts that it rotates through. I'm definitely gonna need to add how many fun facts it rotates through. There's not so many right now, but that's okay. And we have a little border encasing the chat and make it look fancier. We'll see how it goes. I know. Win conditions. Draws. So fancy. Thanks to Pumpy Heart to making it. The same guy that made the thumbnails. Going above and beyond. This is the Smacky Cup, yeah. My favorite map. I know, and it's a tournament game. ColinStonks, you get to be turned into yellow comment. My favorite map. Forced to play on it because it's in the tournament. I actually went for a strategy on this map that was my losing strategy when I did it against Eagle back in the day. But I figured it was losing when I did it last time because I was just so uncoordinated with all my units. So I was like, you know what? It's gonna work this time. I'll update it. I'm playing Drake instead of, I think it was Olaf in that game. You hate the map after this one more? You and Kill Me First are stalled 20 plus days. So why did I choose Drake instead of Kindle? You remember that game? Eagle was was like a top player back when I was a rising star. They were like rank 2 in Fog for a long time. I don't know if I ever played the rank 1 Fog player that I eventually surpassed in rating. Why did I choose Drake? Well, I'll let a few more people join, and then we'll go into it. I'll talk about what my strategy for the game was. But the Drake pick was for my mid-game part of the strategy. Yeah, that part of the Chinese community. You saw I returned to Global League to save Fog. I am indeed playing a Global League Fog game. You can see me. I haven't been back to Fog in a long time, but you can still see that I maintain a top 10 status. Oh, actually, whoa, I'm actually rank 3 apparently. Outrageous. Well, Rip and Eligatua aren't currently playing, so I would be rank 5. And then I think if a few more people came back that are also should be above me at all time. Oh my gosh. So many people are... What? Rhizomatic? Dude, Rhizomatic got a lot better. Rhizomatic's above me. Shadower 122 is above me. Nightmare of Heiankyou is above me. Inkagark, of course, is above me. Rip is above me. Sidewinder. So I'm barely top 10 all time. I would still be on the top 10 if they all came back. But just barely. I bet if I was rank 11, they would all come back just to kick me off of it. Congrats on saving Fog. Wait. There you go. I'm so sorry about the music double playing. That is because... Alright, they shouldn't be doing it anymore. That is because with the streams, to capture people's voices, I have audio output capture, but then I mute the music for myself, and then when I come back to this, I like to hear the music, but I forgot to mute the output. There. So that should be fixed. What's up, penguins? Penguinos, happy Friday. That's true. Top 10 Fog. I'm glad you enjoyed the podcast. I know I have to... Well, let's see if I can bring it over, probably. I'm not sure how I'm capturing this window. Let's see. Okay, I can. So yeah, there I am. Tordread could just like win maybe 1 or 2 games, and then Tordread would push me down to 11th as long as everyone else came back. It's gonna be... It's not too difficult for me to go back to like rank up though. Only 9 points ahead of this guy. Only 12 points behind Inkagark. So honestly, it's pretty close together, which is this is actually really close together, which is really surprising for the top 10. Usually like rank 1 is pretty far ahead of rank 2 and pretty far ahead of rank 3, and then like 4 to 10 are close together is what I tend to see. But we're actually shockingly close together. The biggest gap is like 3 to 4, it looks like. But we don't have a case of like rank 1 being 300 to 200 points ahead of rank 2, as can definitely happen. Means like it's not going to mean like 10 matches though, because I'm not the top dog anymore. So there's people around my rating that I can beat and I can get actual points. It's a completely different experience. Do I have an echo? better not have an echo. It is hard the rank of the high ranks don't play. That's true, it's true. I mean, if they were to push me past, that they would definitely kick me off if they could. The rest of you plebes have to deal with. Yeah. You can blame me for the lovely quality content. Well, thank you. No echo. Thank goodness. Okay. So let's talk about my strategy for this map. I do believe that Eligatua has a video covering this map, which I'm sure, I saw some of it, which is of course going to be really good. It's mainly going to talk about the dividing line, which, as everyone knows, is down this diagonal. But that's not quite irrelevant, but close to irrelevant to what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to do what I wanted to do back in the day when I was still a rising star and playing Eagle, which I failed on due to my unit coordination being really off. My unit coordination in this game is still going to be a little bit off, but it's a lot better than it was back then. So it's going to be early aggression at the top. I'm actually going to do an accelerated infantry. I'm going to do a city skip early on so I can get early infantry here, just in case my opponent tries to go for this city with no vehicle support. I'll be able to use my recon to kill that unit, and then I'll have an infantry here to go capture this city on the double, just in case they get greedy. But the idea is I'm going to smack up here the recon. It's going to, in my mind, hopefully force my opponent to build some sort of defenses for up here and commit up here, and then I immediately strike down here with some tanks, and then I'm just going to try and take this city and then immediately ditch, because at the same time I'm going to use 2 artillery to kill this in 1 turn after hitting it with a tank earlier on, and then have a medium tank walk through here for an accelerated push straight out here to counter the forces that had come up to defend. Are now going to attack in response to my attack down here, and then I'll have all these units retreat up and just do a huge smack over here, and then my opponent will start to push down over here, and we're all going to slam down here. And then I'm going to run away once those stronger vehicles are coming out, and I'm going to build black boats from this harbor, block off my opponent's ability to reinforce through the middle, at least very effectively, take a bunch of cities, go for the HQ. If I don't think that attack's going to go very well, I'm going to build a lander. I'm going to get mega tanks from this base, drop them off down here as an immediate rescue plan, and maybe a battleship. That was the idea for this game. So it starts out with a recon, not the fastest possible recon, because the fastest possible recon is gonna be like a turn 5 instead of turn 4, something like that, because otherwise it just shows up a turn too early. But it's gonna show up. There'll be an early infantry going for this capture. I'm gonna go early down here, send my first tank down here with a tank and then recon to try and dissuade any opposing force attacks down here. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. Yeah. But yeah, early infantry going for this city so that if I spot this city being captured, my recon interrupts it, and then I have an infantry to go in and capture it and be a real jerk about it. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of front switching. It's what I was known for when I was a rising player, so I'm just going to, re-embrace the past, front switch all day long, every day. You just watched... you watched the Go7 versus Tordread? Yeah. You got to see all the errors. I think the one that I did against the finals of that Fog Goblin Goblet, it's still a great game, though. Drake is for the boat movement and the boat defense. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I probably would do... I mean, the end game is to have Lander doing mega tanks from this base. But I'd probably do one that's just like a medium tank or maybe a neo tank. Pick up here, drop off down here kind of a deal. We don't get to that stage, sadly. But the initial thing is going to be mid-game I can start affording black boats and I can start being a real jerk and blocking off the avenues that the opponent would like to rescue these cities from. You pick Drake to stall and interrupt properties. We are not the same. I mean, the Drake powers are good too. If I end up facing Kindle, which is fairly likely, I feel like I'll be advantaged in the long run because of them. But we'll see how this goes. Of course, the most important decision of the entire match is how do you approach this neutral base? It's got so many options, right? You can walk to here, 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 or here. They all reach the neutral base in one turn. Very important to, mess with your opponent this way. Make sure all your movements are always unpredictable. I'm actually just going to do the minimum movement I can do, so my infantry can now fish in the river off of the bridge for a turn, and then they can go and start capturing the base. My opponent, of course, does the max movement, which is fine. It's just, a little uncreative, and it does not matter. Yeah, you reach the base in the same number of turns. And here, just a little city skip. We're gonna walk past that city. Go for this city, then go for this city, and then threaten up there. As I said, my opponent actually does the same city skip. Props to them. And then they go for a mech, which is wild. Now, these cities are all 4 turns apart. Or 4 movement apart. So a mech does go from these cities at the same rate that an infantry does. So this guy can just go up here. Or I guess the mech can also go up here, whichever. So the mech buy isn't going to slow down the capture phase here. But it is going to slow down the vehicle buys, which is a little awkward. Fishing is important. Yeah. You could max movement loopty. A loopty move. That's true. And here I'm also going to do a city skip. I don't actually know if I like this city skip that I'm doing here. The idea is I can go here so I can go down to this corner faster. But a recon coming over will still interrupt you. So maybe it's better to go for this capture, then go for this capture, and leisurely go for this capture once you have a tank supporting. Because I kind of get down there a little too fast for my tank to properly support, unless I went tank first. I'm not going to go tank first. So yeah, this turn I could have built a recon, but the recon would have gotten there too quickly. So I might as well go for the infantry for the better cap phase. Whereas my opponent went for this mech first strategy, so I don't really have too much to fear. Not that I know it. Okay, here comes the recon. The infantry all have their designated captures, right? This guy's going to go for this one. This one's going to go down for this one, I believe. This guy goes for this one. After this guy captures here, it can go over here. Recon's going to go over here. This guy gets this capture. And then you go down here. I think you go over here. Maybe you go over there. I don't remember anymore. We'll find out. Or no, this guy might go... Yeah, this guy goes here. This guy goes here. No, this guy walks by. My gosh. My capture phases are so hard to remember. Okay, this guy walks by. They go for the harbor. This guy goes for this capture. This guy's going to be the one that goes for this capture. I think. We'll find out. We'll find out. They all have their designated goals. Oh my gosh, ColinStonks. City skips for an early This can't be for an early comm tower. This must be to try and like go for some other thing, because comm towers don't give you any money, so that's a huge hit to the economy. Going back for the airport, build the recon down here. I realized that the tank, I can't build a tank yet, but the tank's not going to get there in time to help defend, so I'm going to have a recon help defend and provide vision for the next tank. Yeah, there. Okay, we are doing the seed skip. And now I get to make the choice of, do I want to have this guy go for this property or down here? This guy goes for this property. There's all these little choices. Absolutely wild to go for the early comm tower. Let's see if he actually goes for it. It's like an accelerate. It actually went for the early comm tower. Whoa. It's not the worst, because we did have this infantry to go for this capture, but it definitely slows down the money. I did see that in other games, a lot of people were sending their recon straight down and like interrupting the comm tower capture, which I don't think is a very great choice, because it's a really tough property to kind of delay forever. But I don't understand this capture. Okay. So the bad thing about sending, like going recon down here, infantry up here, is I am really short on infantry on this front, which is pretty common. This mech is actually going to get some value, and it does get to these captures at the same speed that the infantry does, so it's not the worst thing. Yeah, the recon spots my comm tower. Oh no. And my opponent didn't go up for the corner, which honestly was very smart, because I would have 100% slammed into that and there'd be no cover for it. They go for the early artillery. Look at that, no tanks. I don't think I was planning to actually capture this comm tower. I think I was going like, comm tower, I can go down here. This guy goes for the comm tower, like chill in these woods, was the initial plan. But as I said, for the early game strategy is my recon just wants to hit something up here to get a reaction, and then I'm going to try and like really slam into the bottom, because most of the defenses will have gone up here. Okay, so we got our tank. I'm building the tank from this city because I want it to wrap around here and smack this pipe seam for the future double artillery breakthrough. Your opponent sent like every infantry possible down. Yeah. That could definitely happen. That is surprising. Looks like my opponent was setting up to go for an early pipe seam break. They do hit my recon with their recon. They get a pretty nice damage there, 6-9. But I'm totally fine with this. I don't really want to stick around over here. Here's that tank they're building to ward off my aggression. I want them to think I'm still going to maintain aggression, so the recon's going to stick around where it's still in vision of this city. My opponent also used their black boat to repair this infantry, which does hurt them economically because it's an early repair, so it's basically taking 1,000 off of their income, which is painful because they already did like the city skip for the comm tower. But it does mean that next turn they can repair this guy up to 7, and then he captures the city in 3 turns, so it's probably worth it. I have a lot of infantry going forward. Definitely, I would have preferred to have some more infantry going to the bottom here. As you see, that's where all of my future captures are going to be. I'm being very cautious. I don't want to let my opponent kind of smack my leading infantry here. Yeah, I captured this, and I'm just going to fall back. It is dangerous to go across the dividing line You can easily stumble into tanks, which is something I do not want to do, or into like artillery fire. But thanks to the little interrupt here and the comm tower capture, I am ending their turn 2k ahead in income, which is a lot. So far my plans are basically working out. They're going for more artillery. So their artillery was set up to fire on the pipe seam to get the early pipe seam break, but it looks like they are moving it because of the expected aggression at the top. Okay. Oh, it was the other tank, I guess. The next tank is the one that tags this. And then comes the double artillery. Then they'll both move over here. So it's going to be a 4-tank squad slamming into the bottom, which I'm going to be very confident will be able to kind of win any fight down there, because I expect my opponent to send probably 2 tanks up. Even if it's just 1 tank, I should win 4 tanks to 3. This guy's our little lookout. Very sad that I don't get to interrupt this, but I mean, I didn't really prioritize it at all. Okay. My opponent's got most of their army set up over here to defend this front, which is exactly what I want. I am not gonna fight there. Recon goes into the woods, guarded by the mech. I don't actually see the mech. Did I see it before? Did I just like miss it? No, it did evade my vision. Okay. Okay, there's our medium tank. Pop. I'm gonna very aggressive. This is where it's like the coordination's a little off, because I would love to do this while having all like a turn later and have all 4 tanks involved already, but I'm just going to send a little bit in here. The idea is I'll still win the fight because I've got more tanks available. I do see the mech, because originally I would love to have my tank run in and slam into this recon, but I thought that was just going to invite a single like tank first strike potentially from this city. But I see the mech here, and I'm like, I don't want to get hit by a mech and a tank. So we're just gonna go for a little skirmish here. If my opponent sticks around, the 4 tanks should be able to get enough first strikes that it will win the fight. Even though I do deny myself my own city. Or a turn earlier. I know my opponent has the same plan with the artillery. Except, oh yeah, they'd go fire, fire, tank, smack, kill us all in 1 turn. But then they just have a tank going through. I've got the medium tank going through, because I do expect my opponent to slam into the top here. And I think if I was to do it over again, I would pull this guy back either this turn or the next turn. I don't actually need that scouting. I know what my opponent's going to be doing over there. It's just kind of vulnerable. Rest in peace, recon. That's why we always have backup recons. Now, sadly, because my opponent got that nice recon hit on me, knocking me all the way down to 6, I will... This is their caution. They're like, where's the army? They know where these 2 tanks are, but they don't know where the rest of my army is. So break, send the medium tank through. Recon, spot where everything is. There's a tank over here. I don't care about that. Make sure there's nothing chilling out in these woods. I have to sacrifice this infantry, otherwise it's a roll to do the 6 health recon plus infantry to kill this guy. And I do not want that guy to barely live, because if they barely live, the 2 health infantry could still finish them off, but then would be standing here, and I kind of need that tile to kill the recon and the tank. Now my opponent actually has an artillery ready because they bailed on the one-shot break the pipe seam. Once they break the pipe seam, I'm not going to be fighting down here. I'm definitely skedaddling. I don't want to deal with the faster reinforcements, kind of like what my opponent will have to deal with if they attack up here now. Okay. And we're going to go with copter, anti-air, infantry. The money works out, and also I do not expect my opponent to have any anti-air up here, because the immediate reinforcements that you send up here is going to be tanks, maybe artillery, and then the following reinforcements with that are going to be sent down here in response to this attack might include an anti-air or copters. So I'm expecting medium tank plus copters to just absolutely crush any of the attacking force in the top left. And this is where this guy probably should have been evacuated. There's no real reason to keep him up here. Like, it makes the opponent commit units to this area, but they're going to commit units to that area anyway because they want to start taking the cities. My poor tanks get shot by the artillery. Which I do not appreciate. It lives though, so that's fine. I'm just going to delay this for a single turn. I do see the juicy tank. I'm like, oh, the medium tank. It could slam in already, but let's check. Let's be smart. Send the recon. The artillery is there. If the artillery was one tile back, I probably would have slammed in and got shot. But then the artillery is not defending the city, so I can understand putting it there. I also don't know if it could reach there because of the forest. I'm going to evacuate this tank. You could send it back to one of these cities to repair, but it's likely that after I leave this front, the opponent kind of storms through and the tank could pick off a repairing tank. So I'm going to send it up here to the more defendable. I think the artillery being back at square would be better too. 1, 2, 3. I don't know where. Does it start from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could have been back one. So here the plan is to just take this city. I'm going to make the little tank wall set up so that they might both get first struck, in which case I'll just send them backwards. We have a very long moving wall here as we do our front shift to smack into the top. They're also going to get this city, but at what cost? The best little tank wall that ever tanked. Yeah, this is just a really annoying spot to ever break through because of this forest tile. My opponent doesn't feel comfortable attacking in here, probably because, I mean, they did only have 2 tanks to attack with, and I had the 4 tanks defending. I might have an artillery back here. They don't quite see it. They probably could have gone in with a recon to spot what I have, and they'd be a little more comfortable attacking. It wouldn't be the worst situation for me, though, because I would probably get the power off of it. Here we're going to charge on in. No fear. Recon, infantry smack. I'm very confident that most of their reinforcements have been going down here. They also just broke this pipe seam last turn, I think. I do have a choice here. I could send the anti-air over and smack, or I can send the infantry over and smack. I decide to do the infantry. I would be perfectly happy with anyone using the anti-air in this kind of situation, though. I'm just going to keep it hidden for a little bit longer. If it one-shot the infantry, I would do it, of course. But the infantry would live at 1. And here we're just going to skedaddle. I've got the artillery covering this city and any units that might come up through the middle, as well as some tanks helping to defend that. And we're just gonna back on out of here. The idea with the front shifts are like, I get the majority of my army fighting maybe half of their army, and then they have a lot of units that aren't currently fighting, so I should win the fight. ColinStonks resigns here. Part of their resignation was it sounds like burnout. Although this attack for me looks really nice. The copter can come in if it wants, but I have the anti-air ready. The tanks don't actually reach anything. The artillery isn't able to hit anything. The anti-air is going to be out of range for maybe 2 more turns, depending on where my copter fight's going. I think it goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it doesn't even reach this city. So this is gonna get broken. The medium tank isn't going to be able to reach this fight. And down here, my opponent's pretty good with the numbers. We'll probably switch these cities again. I'm just going to get a lot more kills out of the situation than my opponent. And then I'll front shift down here, and that's when the black boats are going to start coming out. Was the plan. Because I start fighting down here, then the black boats block the land route back up here as I switch back up here. But we didn't quite get there. That's okay. The switching back and forth, I think, did enough damage. There was enough of my opponent's units not being in the right positions that life went well. Surprise medium tank. The game didn't go on long enough to get to the lander mega plan. That was for the late game. No battleships. Yeah. No Drake powers. I was really far ahead though. I think it was just the coupling of the little recon harassment did quite a bit of damage, and I think the comm tower, I mean, it's not the worst thing to go for the comm tower early like that, but it definitely hurts economically. But you can see, like, at this point, I'm already almost like 24,000 ahead, more than the entire turns of income. Although this is after I attacked. But even, like, at the start of my turn, I'm almost even in unit value and ahead of unit count. So things were already looking good before I even attacked them. GG. I know. I told you guys the entire plan. We didn't make it to the plan. Or the full plan. Being Drake did not end up mattering for how it went, but it would have started to matter. It would have started to matter. Next we have Uxna versus Sketch Turner. Another fog game. Live League. Look down. Fagawall. It did matter. My copter did less damage. That's true. I mean, it's still knocking him down to 5. That's fine. Guess we'll have it like this. A nice tall map. There we go. I'm gonna leave the stream for another one. Behave itself. Ah. Probably here. That's fine. Alright, Sketch Turner can be Cobalt Ice. Uxna can be Yellow Comet. You've got Jake versus Flak. certified live league. If you didn't know, Live League allows the Luxios in it. And they have Flak and Jugger in tier 4. Oh. If you make it to the last round in your bracket, you too will come up with an overcomplicated plan to face off against me. Thank you. My plan was not overcomplicated. It just had stages for every part of the game. It's very helpful to have a game plan. I will say this. That way it gives you meaning behind your movements and you can set yourself up for different stages. Who would you rather face in Live League? Honestly, facing Nell is probably the easiest. Nell is garbage. Absolute garbage. She is the queen of false promises. She feels the worst out of all of those to play. Even worse than Sonya. Can't believe Live League doesn't allow all tiers. Free Hachi. Steeler, aren't you the one? I've been burned too. It's not just me. I think Inkagark lost round 1 of the Quack Cup because chose Nell and was expecting Nell to do something. And no, Nell never does something. She just says, look, you use my power and I could one-shot things, but instead I'll just do the normal damage and you'll lose. Yeah. And the thing is, when you play Flak, when you play Jugger, when you play Sonya, you expect the luck to be bad. You play Nell and she says it's all positive, and you're like, oh, that means it's gonna be good, and it's not. Alright. As we go into this, Jake versus Flak. I think Jake is definitely advantaged in this matchup, though. The Luxios, I personally think that Jugger is just way better than Flak. Although, I recently learned, and I don't know how I didn't notice this before, that Flak Super, like, it does take a whole bar less. So that is good. That's definitely big points for Flak. For some reason, I thought they had the same charge requirement. But Jake's going to be really good in this matchup because the extra movement and the extra indirect range can really zone Flak and pick off Flak units on those super turns. And as soon as the Luxios have less units than you by a significant amount, they can kind of fall apart and die because they won't have as many opportunities to go for rolls. Well, the reason I like Jugger more than Flak is because you have the higher upside potential, and there's a lot of interactions where having worse low side doesn't matter at all. If an infantry does 0 to a medium tank, or if it does -10 to a medium tank, you don't care. If it does 5 to a medium tank instead of 3, you care a lot. That's a huge swing. You can also make people really sad. Like, if you're Jugger and your infantry's on the city and their copter comes up and hits you and you take a hit point off in retaliation, they just cry. Suddenly, that has to happen one time, and then their copters are never, ever going for those attacks. Evil psychological warfare. It's true. But I think Jake's gonna be good here. I mean, there's a lot of planes. There's a lot of movement. We do have Flak going for the copters, which is fine. Something to keep in mind when you're playing these Luxios is for Flak and Jugger, there's going to be times that you're going to want to go for some attacks before using the power. Oftentimes, if it's like an anti-air attacking a copter, stuff like that, you don't want to use your super before that attack because that actually opens up the possibility of missing the kill, where normally it would have been guaranteed. It's very unlikely that you'll miss the kill, but it's still possible. And if you don't know, I do like the decopter. Maybe a faster decopter I'd like a little bit more. It's gonna kind of show up as the units are showing up on the front lines, which will be nasty. Nice artillery in the woods though. But if you don't know, the way that luck rolls work for these COs, if you look at your classic CO, take Jake for instance, you do your base damage plus your firepower modified to that. So let's say this infantry on the road is hitting another infantry on the road. So you do 55 base damage, and then you just add your luck roll, which is from 0 to 9. So if you roll a 5 on your luck roll, you'll do 60 damage. Kapow! And that's it. But when you have the negative luck rolls here, so like Flak does, instead of 0 to 9, he does -9 to 24. And what that means is, that's actually really nice. But what that means is you do your base damage, right? You have your 55, and then you have 2 rolls. It's not rolling from -9 to 24 like that 0 to 9 is. It's actually 2 rolls. There's a first roll, which is the negative roll, or it might be the second. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So you're rolling like 0 to 9. That's going to be the negative amount, and then 0 to 24, and that's going to be the positive amount. So it's going to be very rare that you're actually going to be rolling negative on these rolls, because that 0 to 24, that's a much bigger range than that 0 to 9, and oftentimes it's going to trump it essentially. But when you're playing as Sonya, you get your Sonya's luck roll is not boosted at all for her positive. She just gets a -0 to 9 in addition to that positive 0 to 9. So a lot of the times she just rolls a 0, right? I mean, you kind of expect her to roll a 0 because you're doing two equal rolls that are opposing. It's very unlikely she's ever going to get a max in either direction. She's just oftentimes going to do nothing unless your name is Fluffy. If your name is Fluffy, you every time you will get the 9 on the positive and a 0 on the negative and just a max roll for every attack. What is that, a 1 in 100? Yeah, that's a 1 in 100, a 1%. Shots fired. Yeah, if you think about it like that, I guess it's a 10% chance you max roll for anyone else for a regular CO to get that 9. For Sonya, it's a 1% chance. You. Oh, I don't know if Steelers got secret tech to mess with the damage rolls or not. Okay. Got Sketch Turner kind of coalescing in the center here. Very good, didn't come down and get shelled by this artillery. Gets trapped. Has the tank go for the strike on the city. We don't actually have an anti-air for Uxna, which is pretty gutsy, because I mean this is a pretty nice airport. Anti-air now, okay. Well, Oh yeah, anti-air when it spots the copter. We'll see how Sketch Turner feels about this. Personally, I think I would be fine with sending the copter in here. Because copter strikes, a tank strikes, infantry stands on the city, you can kind of collapse around your copter, and it makes it a little challenging for an anti-air to strike you. Because they at most have like an anti-air and a tank back here, most likely. Ooh, I wouldn't strike from there, though. No. Copter strikes from up here, closer to your front. You don't want, because now you can't cover this up. If the copter strikes from here, infantry steps down, you start capturing here. Infantry goes here, maybe tank goes here, maybe tank goes here, depending on what it wants to do. But you do not want to have the copter sitting here, because now things could get really dicey. But that's okay. It's okay. You can rely on luck. Flak is doing it right. Okay, it's gonna be fine because there wasn't an anti-air in the vicinity, and now things are looking real bad for uxna, as the tank basically got killed for free. As did several infantry. We have a mech. And as I was saying before, this is anytime the Luxio is positive in the unit count, it's like impossible to successfully engage once those powers are online, because they'll just have units. They'll have extra units that they can throw at you. That they'll be like, it's, you know, if the luck roll works out, I'll just win the game. Just more and more opportunities. But I will say, make sure when you're in those situations, let's say that you have a medium tank, they have a medium tank, and you've got like 3 infantry, make sure you do the medium tank on medium tank attack first. It's less of a high roll to go like that, of course. You're not like, oh, my 3 infantry could kill the medium tank, but you don't want to leave yourself open to that possibility of having your 3 infantry run up and do nothing and all die for free. So you might as well have the medium tank strike first, guarantee to reduce the health on their medium tank so your infantry don't die when things go poorly. Or uxna going in here. I do like the artillery in the back. And having everything grouped together is nice. But Sketch Turner kind of backed up, and then this attack comes in. The artillery doesn't quite get the kill. It gets knocked down to 1. A lot of these infantry are going to get cleaned up. Ooh, backing up with the tank. Infantry goes for the strike, doesn't get the kill. 4 health, decides to go in for the finish off. You could, if you want, not go for the finish off and just work on all of these infantry, but I think that Sketch Turner has enough units here to go for all the strikes on infantry that they want to anyway. Are you going up over here for this attack? I mean, there's two artillery back here. I don't know if this one's known about. I know this one is. Okay, that's fine. Keeping the mech back. The copters, they could be a little bit farther back depending on how you're feeling, because this isn't like the most difficult thing for someone to bust through. And, well, right up into those artillery. Ooh, medium tank's on the way. So, the medium tank should be definitely scared, though. One of the strategies that you'll do with these Luxios is you'll go for early tech ups. Like, I go a medium tank quickly, because it can go, like, the medium tank can beat up these tanks all day, every now and again. It's just going to one-shot them when it shouldn't be able to. But if they go a medium tank, I do have a lot of potential ways of killing it, and they're going to have a hard time killing my medium tank. Same with, like, Neo Tank and Mega Tank and that kind of thing. When you play high funds with these Luxios, I don't know if they're allowed in live league high funds, but in high funds fog, when that league was around, you could play the Luxios. And something I loved to do and absolutely harassed Starflash to death with is going very recon heavy, and then you pop your super, and then your recons go in, and you every now and then getting your one shots on Neo tanks and stuff like that, and going after the copters. Sketch Turner are going to join copters together by a Neo tank, so we get a fairly quick tech up here. But recons are really quick. They're really quick, so they can reach a lot of potential nice targets. And they're inexpensive. So we go straight for the beatdown here, which will let these two artillery get shots off. Although they could have shot this recon anyway, but getting a hit on the artillery is pretty nice. Mech goes forward. Medium tank staying nice and safe in the back. A lot of these kind of games where you have like the stare off in the center, the center fight isn't usually going to be that decisive. I mean, sometimes someone just kind of dies, but oftentimes what will end up ending the game is actually how you decide to distribute forces to the sides, because there's not going to be very many defenders, and you can just kind of take properties and get a huge income lead. Yeah, High Funds Fog, it wasn't Global League, but it was on Discord. I think I've covered all my games in that league. I don't know. Not all of them were saved. You can see me fight... ooh, okay, we're diving in here, Sketch Turner. Recon down to 2. I don't know about this dive in, honestly. Seems really aggressive. So, when you do this kind of join in, where you're joining like a 9 health copter with a full health copter, you gotta realize that that's gonna hit your front line heavily. So until the unit you bought from it actually shows up, I would refrain from any dive-ins. We do get to hit this anti-air down to 3, which, you know, isn't the worst. But so many artillery are still alive and staring at this. Oh man, so cautious on the sides. I think instead of attacking in here, sending like a single tank over here in response to what happened is probably great. The none of these cities were being captured, so it's not like there was any pressure to attack at this time. Medium tank kills the anti-air. Copter's gonna get to hit the copter. It's looking... A lot of these tanks do survive, though. Oh, the copter doesn't even hit the copter. What? That's a weird play. There's a copter attack from the planes. I mean, that honestly didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to. We do get one tank strike here. Okay. It's still like a tiny bit painful, but Sketch Turner's still doing great. We're gonna go for a barbaric blow. Straight into the super here. This is the kind of unit you want to lead these attacks with. It's something that doesn't take too much in the retaliation. Boom, 5 damage. Down goes the recon. Down goes the artillery. Down goes the anti-air. Hawke, only 2 damage. Only 5 damage on that artillery, so that was kind of a negative roll. Okay, I think shows up. It's looking decent. The medium tank got knocked down to 4 with 2 copter strikes. So it's a little bit better than you would expect. Ooh, and of course the super does stick around. And this is what I was talking about with like making the luck working on the defense can make some attacks that would normally be kind of okay absolutely awful. Or just like potentially awful, and it can make your opponent not go for attacks that they typically would have. Okay. Sketch Turner does survive the super. Comes the tank. Oh man, there really should be more play on the sides here. There's no anti-air. On its way. Oh, so gutsy to charge that Neo tank. What did the Neo tank even hit? A 9 health tank on the shoals against someone who's had quite a few artillery. No vision. The guts. If this artillery was just like a little bit closer. It 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it's fine. I don't think they get extra move with the super, so maybe they do. Things you would think I would know. Oh. Classic 2-2. Air moves forward, artillery moves up. But yeah, this is what happens a lot in these middle fights. It's like you start to win, so you push forward, but that's like an immediate overextension into every single base. But really, the main goal of these fights is not to win them. It's to force your opponent to contribute as much as possible while you then just win on the sides. As long as you don't lose the fight, things are great. Not sure about that copter attack, but okay. Like a full health copter for an 8 health copter. It's not the worst trade. It's still a unit for a unit. And he takes it. Oh, hi! Run away! Okay, Jake looking super dead here. But at this point, like, just stop attacking over here. Go take this city. We take it. Take this tank. It can spot. You can have this. You can have this infantry spot. And like, oh, there's something there, or there might not be something there. The infantry can just kind of move forward. Oh my gosh! No, you spotted after moving the tank. Lives at 1. Gets picked off. Oh, it lives. Oh, recons do so little damage to tanks. Uxna resigns over that. I mean, the resignation's not over that, but yeah, they were looking pretty dead there. GG. A pretty fun game. I like the artillery heavy against Flak, but yeah, the tough stuff is like Flak force, Flak or Jugger or Nell. Making you go for like a Neo tank to match their Neo tank, and then things can go real bad for you. I think that is the same T-Copter from the very start. Been doing work with these mechs. Okay, we've got a CatWithYarn game. 1 versus 1 Verdun. Andy versus Max. Having played this matchup, I can say that playing Andy versus Max feels awful. As Andy, if you're Max, it feels awesome. Because Andy's units just die, and then there's like so little he can do against you. This is the first game you start since your hiatus ended. Well, welcome back. You once played a 60-turn game on this map. You never want to see it again. Oh, no worries, Shadow. No worries. You don't remember you checked the replay? That's number one. Alright. Let's see what these openers are. You can go artillery. Well, not really with Max. You can go tanks. You can go recons. You can go transport copter. You can do APC stuff. I'm still gonna go with recons. Makes sense for Max. It would either go recons or like super tank heavy. Andy going double recon. Very dicey for Andy to go double recon against Max, because it's definitely not impossible for Max to one-shot your recons. And that always sucks. We have the double tanks following the double recons. This is a pretty good meta-ish opener for Andy, but just not necessarily when fighting Max as Andy. This was a Z game. Nice. Does get the positive exchange 8-6. And it looks like it was a join cap. Oh. Let's go back. You can see why Andy was kind of incentivized to do the join cap. This is something that Max and like Grim can do to you, and it's absolutely rude. When they hit you with their recon, you get knocked down to 4 instead of 5, which takes an entire extra turn of capturing with that infantry. So we have the join cap, which is great news for Max, because that's essentially killing an entire unit. I think it's a roll as well. It's because you take chip damage from this infantry. I think it's a roll to get knocked all the way down to 6, though. Recon backs up. Looking good. Ooh, this recon very dicey. Charging after. Does this recon chill on this comm tower? Oh, now it gets trapped trying to go into the woods. It looks like the Andy player probably doesn't watch the replays, because I think that infantry should have been known about. And now this recon dies. Rest in peace. And I think this recon can probably die too. Maybe not. If this was a full health recon, it would definitely die. Whoa. That's a very gutsy strike. Once the tanks are out on the map, it's time for the recons to stop trying to be super harassy and go into more vision mode. Because what can happen here is it might look like the two tanks are covering the recon. So you're like, their tank comes in and I smack it. But once the recon's gone, you lose vision of the area. And that makes it much more difficult to help protect. Although getting to see the copter is nice. Now you won't blender into it. And this recon dies. Both recons going down. Very painful, of course. Get a little bit of a nice exchange over here. Ooh, save the infantry. I like it. Got an infantry kill over there too. Tank comes up, smack. I would prefer if, I guess this guy checks from here instead, because I don't want the tank on this side of the map. I prefer if it's on your own side. It's just easier to fight overall. The tanks are grouped together, which is nice. They're covering each other. tank plus probably tank strike. That's where it's painful, because now it's like if you continue fighting over here, you're still fighting on their side of the map. Although a little gutsy of the copter. I mean, it's still kind of on their side, so I can understand why they're like, it's probably safe. But it's definitely not safe. The max copter can come in for a good swing. Oh. Infantry finishes it off. Finish off this tank. Follow-up tank. It's still working out. No need to pressure this for a little while. I like it. Go after other attacks. Ooh, I like the letting the city go in order to get the infantry kills. I don't know if it's necessarily needed because this guy could have helped out, but it's still like good long-term thinking. Be like, I'll just kind of win on the unit count over here, and then I can take the cities anyway. I'm not quite sure why this guy moves forward though. Like hitting this infantry I could see as an option. Moving into these woods is an option. Still picked off. Tank first strike, that's fine for max. Andy Super is coming up. Andy just resigns, GG. I was gonna say the Andy Super is coming up, but unfortunately for Andy, both these tanks just kind of die, and because one backup tank can kill this guy off, and then copter plus tank can kill this tank, and then the Andy vehicle count just goes down so quickly that the Super loses a lot of its punch, and that's without Max even having to use a power. So GG. The resignation was a little bit early, but once these two units go down, this fight down here is gonna. You're definitely gonna win this with this nice exchange in the middle. You don't even have to use the power, and then you always have the power to wipe them out. But GG. You did that to try and block the anti-air. Ah. Yeah. I can understand that. It's just that there's, if you want to block the anti-air, you have to kind of block both tiles. Anti-air would be like, oh, I can't go there, but I can go here, like that kind of thing. Just preserve the units a little more. But it still went really well. Yeah, you start producing recons. Just not losing them early on would be the first thing to improve on in that game, but otherwise that went great. Oh boy. Alright. You love max recons, they're good. We are going for a 9-player free-for-all. Red Halo game. It's probably going to mess with... We'll see if we can fit this in the new layout. Oh, it fits. Can I zoom in at all? I'm missing some stuff off the top. I don't think we care about the stuff on the top. So we'll put it like that. Try and make it as reasonable as possible. I'm blocking the CO lists, but that is what it is. We'll put the little day count up here. So we're going to change this to not keep order static, so we'll better track whose turn it is. It's Europe. I think your opening was pretty good, Shadow. A nice tiny map. This is a Red Halo game, so as you can tell, we have... Oh, this isn't high funds. Interesting. Or is it partly high funds? Oh no, this is normal funds tier 0 tag. Fog. I still don't understand why Cobalt Ice gets this harbor. Does anyone else get a property that can just kind of be stolen from them immediately? It doesn't look like it. Just poor Cobalt Ice, but I guess they get both England and Scandinavia for some reason, so... I guess that goes in their favor. Green Earth at the top. I guess this, yeah, this, well, they can defend that city, though. Cobalt Ice just cannot defend this harbor. And unless they rush out a black boat and then like a sub. We'll see how it goes. Surprisingly, Red Halo going with Colin Hachi. I am surprised. I would have expected either Sensei, because there are airports, or Colin for just max colonation. But Colin Hachi gonna try and make the money and then spend the money with a bunch of units. I do enjoy playing Hachi on these maps because a lot of times you can find some really nice cities to just kind of build a pipe runner on them and turn them into turrets. And by nice, I mean incredibly toxic. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll see how it goes. I am not going to go action by action. We're going turn by turn. Green just builds their infantry. No turn advantage infantry in this, so going first is really nice. I'm not sure why Orange targets a stray base down here. I guess they wanted more. Traditionally, there's like one person down here, essentially. I guess they want some more fighting around the map. It's a new Europe map that, from what I've seen. Went for the early artillery. It makes sense. It's a very blocky kind of area. Down goes the harbor. Rest in peace. Red Halo unable to get the block. I mean, the artillery would have denied it anyway. We'll see if Red Halo is able to work some magic with Green Earth here. It doesn't look like it because they're starting to take this city, but maybe there was a deal worked out. No, there is no deal worked out. Okay. But I think, I mean, you honestly really want to be Cobalt Ice in this situation because Green Earth is kind of like heavily pressured from all other sides. We have the artillery spam from Red Halo, the classic Colin approach. Ooh, the no anti-air though getting punished. Green Earth actually attacking up into Red Halo here. Ooh, Blue Moon a little bit vulnerable to perhaps some little pickoffs from these Cobalt Ice infantry. The fighting in Africa, the northern part of Africa, looking really bad for Italy. Who's getting sandwiched in between two different players. Green Earth. Is Green Earth... no, Green Earth is Hawke Drake, so double... I just realized there's no duplicate tag COs in this setup, so that might have been a rule. Ooh, we have a Sasha. Oh no. So when there's a Sasha player, you want to go immediately before them. So you have a chance to build up a charge before they wipe it. Oh, we have a black boat cutting off land access over here, although it's a black boat that can easily be shelled to death. No one's left the game yet, so honestly, going great. Green Earth, trying to turtle up. Italy does look like they might... Ooh, whoa. Italy attacks into Spain. Spain has a missile setup. I am surprised. I think this is going to end. I think Italy's just going to die in Africa, but that's okay. Greece. Lots of people just turtling up with indirects. Here comes the global damage. First one, Kindle. Look at how many 7s showed up. Actually ridiculous. Pop. So many 7s. And this hits on people's capture phases too. It's always devastating when you get hit by a Kindle Urban Blight during capture phase, because it slows down this capture, but then you only repair up to 9, so it slows down your next capture too. Oh my gosh. Where's Sasha? Oh, Red Halo actually got a power off for money. Sasha have charge? Sasha's got a super. Wow, Sasha was really nice this game. It didn't take people's charge. Green Earth resigns. The Red Halo breakthrough here looks pretty. I mean, Green Earth could definitely fight back here. They didn't even use their normal power, which would have been like a good way of being like, screw you guys, normal power, I'm out. But just resigns. We still don't use a Sasha power? My goodness. Everyone popping their powers here. Get some Hachis going off. Red Halo 41k. I imagine, yeah, we're going to switch back to Colin to get more charge to make an even bigger bank. As long as you're not dying, no reason to miss out on the income. Red Halo managed to take this harbor and wasn't stopped at all. Blue Moon just kind of being it alive. Are there no alliances going on? The Neotank died down here? Ooh, attacking. I mean, Italy actually doing great considering the situation they were in. They might have a... Oh, there's a mountain range in between these guys. Oops. Blue Moon getting some good attacks into Yellow Comet. Yellow Comet has had like a Sasha super for so long and like hasn't used the normal power. There we go. Now we use the normal power. Oh no, but like the normal power, it honestly didn't wipe that much. We gotta see, did they spend money before using it? Is that what happened? Oh, they spent a little bit of money and then did the market crash. Oh no. Oh, we have a Sammy player? Eagle Sammy, huh? It's gonna be tough to have an infantry, like a foot soldier count in this kind of situation where you're completely surrounded. 1, 2, 3, 4 foot soldiers. Red Halo coming in through the north. We're building up that bank. Yeah, up to 30. Not building up too much. Orange Star. Okay, get some attacking in here. Orange Star is going to have a pretty nice economy. And 19k. I thought it'd be better. I guess this is just a lot of open space down here. Sasha builds up. Doesn't do a market crash this turn. Sasha's in a very dire straits. Down to 8 units. Same with Black Hole. Paragon's at 40. Red Halo here at 39. Keeps moving forward. You see the artillery spam. Ooh, we got a battleship backing it up. This is the classic Red Halo Colin strategy. It works pretty well. The artillery are like the cheapest unit, cheapest vehicle to effectively spam, and they can fight off a lot of stuff. It makes it so people don't want to hit you, and you just kind of build up more and more money. But Captain Baron moving on in, gets a bunch of infantry from using the sensei power, but so many artillery shots are going to happen here. Blue Moon gets a lot done too, but still is kind of ignoring the fact that Red Halo just kind of took the harbor. Oh, Yellow Comet resigns. They did look super dead. Black Hole at 5 units builds a bomber. Good luck. Red Halo at 73k in the bank. Oh, we have another Urban Blight. I don't think we've seen any other global damage other than Urban Blight, but it's basically a 3 damage global damage. It hits so many things. People get off of your cities. I guess it's just so clustered with them in the center that you have to. Oh, Orange Star ends up resigning. Red Halo gets to start eating up this side too. Blue Moon again ignoring the attack, like the losing properties up here. The Swarm. Red Halo still got 76k in the bank, making 30k a turn. Italy somehow still alive in this game. I thought they were like dead eons ago. But they're doing okay. I mean, down here things do look rough as triple mega tank is approaching, but I mean, one does go down. And it's still standing against them. Is Italy like... What is Italy? Where are you, Italy? There you are. It's Kindle Sammy. Kindle Sammy against Colin Hachi. I don't know how they're still alive. Okay, 133k in the bank. We're going to have another gold rush, I imagine. Up to 152k in the bank. Switched over to Hachi. Oh boy. Hachi Kampai doing all right. 57 units. Looks like Orange Star and Cobalt Ice are going to be the main. Well, I mean, Blue Moon's doing all right too. Heal Galaxy probably going to be able to dominate the bottom. Well, I mean, you got Paragon. I mean, this is still looking pretty even between the players. I would give Red Halo a lot of advantage just to the sheer amount of experience in these situations. And also the bank. We didn't do a Hachi power. Interesting. 100. So, I mean, the reason why Red Halo swapped over the Hachi is because when you use a power as like Colin, if you stay in front with that person, then you can't get any charge, but you then swap, and then your power gets turned off effectively, and you can still gain charge. So it's just trying to get more and more charge for more and more gold rushes, but we're not having Hachi Super yet here. We might have had one that I missed. Okay, Kindle. Could do an Urban Blight. Does do an Urban Blight. Blam, 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 blam. So much damage. Somehow survived the triple mega tank attack down here. Actually unreal. Blue Moon fighting Orange Star. Cobalt Ice just kind of chilling here with a giant sea of indirects. We're at 289,000 in the bank. Paragon pushing on up into Blue Moon. Blue Moon's kind of being torn apart. when we're looking just army to army, Orange Star, or not Orange Star, Amber Blaze, we call them Orange Star this whole time probably, yeah, is looking pretty comparable to Cobalt Ice, but then you look at the bank and you're like, oh, Red Halo could double their standing army right now. Blue Moon still holding well against this front. We're at 326,000. We do use a Hachi Super, only spending 60,000 though. Really? Of course, it's going to be double that because in unit value gained. Looks like it was just a ton of artillery that got bought. And some infantry from being Sensei Light over here. But yeah, boom, 91 units. Paragon doing their best. Kind of, that's not too bad. Blue Moon and Amber Blaze fighting the good fight over here. It looks like Blue Moon's Mega Tank army is proving to be quite the challenge to overcome. It almost looks like Italy is like actually pushing back Spain down here despite all the mega tanks against medium tanks. So many indirects. We've got the landers moving out. They're going to be able to bypass the mountain range. We already have the mechs walking across it, supported by indirects. Italy also has now been broken through. Tries to fall back from the sea of artillery. Still fighting the good fight. Okay, Italy must be losing this base now. I don't know how it has survived for so long. Okay. There must be an arrangement going on here between Blue Moon and Kawais. There definitely is. We didn't fire on the rocket. Pro tips for anyone playing FFAs. Red Halo is a master of FFAs, a master of striking deals. You should probably target them first. Oh my gosh. Urban Blight, it does hit a lot of stuff, but it's just not enough. Italy's done amazing considering the COs that they are, the situation they were in, but they have resigned. GG. Blue Moon continues to strike into Orange Star. Spain fighting the good fight. Definitely being overrun. And they're gone. We're down to 3 players. Oh, Red Halo's got a moderate bank of 779,000 against 4,062k. Oh, my bad. my bad. Red Halo has over 1 million in the bank. 194 units. Oh. And then we go and use a Hachi Super. Looks like the Hachi Super made a lot of artillery and rockets. How many did we build? Oh, 59 in a turn, as one does. And it's times like these that Red Halo is going to go into the Discord and be like, ah, life is so rough for me. I have so many units I have to move. What's rough is that the Blue Moon and Orange Star don't necessarily know how much danger they're in because they can't actually see all of this in the fog. Orange Star builds a ton of infantry as Hachi. Being Sensei Light. Being Sensei but paying for your units for 1 more HP. Back to over 1 million in the bank. I come to Orange Star again. Amber Blaze is actually managing to push back Blue Moon here. It looks we got the 2 mega tanks to go for strikes. This absolute ocean of cobalt ice swarming down into Africa. Mass transportation, so many logistics, so many rockets. Even have some missiles in there. It's the never-ending tide. Still at over 1 million. Did we build it? Started at 1.5 million this turn. Actually managed to use the Hachi Super and spend almost 500,000 in value. You can wall for your rockets with rockets. Yeah. Such is the snowball potential of Colin. You gotta feel kind of nice when you're Paragon. You're like, I have 107 units. That's nice. Turns out your opponent has quadruple the number. Another... Oh, just uses... Oh, uses the Colin Super? Yeah. So we use the Colin Super this turn. Power of money with over 1 million in the bank. You see any outrageous rolls? 7 health infantry one-shots. Huh. Okay. 1 health bomber. 1 shots anti-air. As one does. Bop, bop, bop. Bop. Recon finds the mega tank. We have a 2 health rocket here. I don't think it can kill. I mean... Oh, God. Okay, well, power of money when you have over 1 million in the bank. It's a little good. It's on the plains. Yeah, it's enough. It's just a one-shot overkill with everything. Pop, pop. I wonder if it was even a roll with the 2 health rocket. Ooh, nice providing vision for the artillery there. Down goes the carrier. I mean, it's got to take a long time to take the turn, but it's got to be satisfying, right? You just one-shot absolutely everything. Somehow the deal between Red Halo and Blue Moon still stands. Merchant Union. Orange Star. Ah, this is what can happen when you're playing Hachi, is you're like, you don't quite have enough bank to make use of your super, and you just become a bad sensei. Gotta be careful about that. There's like 30 black boats. Maybe more. Where's the black boats on here? There's there's 90 black boats, 52 landers, 55 rockets, 95 artillery, 2 missiles, 2 T-copters, 39 infantry. That's a few. All right. Samurai Spirit. And Resign. Oh, I like it. I like it. Super into Resign. Do we fight it out? No. Ended in a draw. Red Halo. I'm disappointed. Don't end in a draw, Red Halo. Use your mighty forces. Crush Blue Moon. GG. All these loaded up landers. I don't even know what, I can't even check what's in them apparently. But yeah, Red Halo, a little bit ahead in that game. What's the unit value there? It's like over 3 million. Yeah, 3.5 million unit value. Well played, GG. Disappointed about the drawing at the end. In a 9-player free-for-all. But otherwise, Well done, well done. Slyfox. We have danubilo versus Slyfox, Kindle versus Kindle, a Nightmare of Heiankyou. Down here again, we can go keep order static. It only took about 2 months to play. Nobody wins. Is chat frozen? Don't scare me like that. +90 black boats for the 40 infantry. Yeah. It was frozen. Whoa. Stream lag. No, okay. Okay. Let's make Slyfox into Cobalt Ice. Right. Left. Okay. So I haven't actually played on this map. It's got quite the grid of shoals going on here. I thought originally there was black boats pre-deployed, but like behind all these reefs, but I guess not. You have to go and capture your harbor, and then the black boat slowly, or the lander slowly makes its way through all of these reefs. Okay, okay. The map is weird. Well, recon seemed good for sure. Just because they can make you a lot of use of the shoals. HQs are a little bit vulnerable. There's so few forests available to hide artillery in. Interesting. Well, we'll see how it goes. We do have like some nice chained together properties over here. There might be a little bit of a turn advantage you can try and exploit here, because you like when you start the capture here, you start at first, they start, and you can like walk off and smack them and then start your own capture, but the vision's going to be tough to get that going. You gotta fight like one island at a time. Just make Kindle the penguin so there's no commentary bias. What are you talking about? There's 2 Kindles. See how this goes. Going for the neutral base makes sense. I don't think there's any great city skips here. I mean, maybe you could city skip to try and get to like this really early. Kindle definitely seems like a strong pick, because there's going to be a lot of fighting over these little cities. We're going to go for an early recon for both COs. It makes sense. The shoals are nice. You don't have to go early recon, though. I think early recon will probably lose to early tank. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be. Like, you get... The recon, of course, gets to use the shoals right away and zip around, which will help it be aggressive. And that's what the early recon play is kind of meant to do, is to get some harassment in. And then early tank play is just kind of chill and defend infantry. And it's not too difficult to have your tanks defend all these infantry, because there isn't like a huge gap that you're having to walk across that the tanks can't support to like delay the support. So I don't think, even though the recons zip around all the time, I don't think they can find very good openings that a tank opening can't, or like a tank first can't cover. You like to go early recon just so you know where stuff is. Oh, you don't want to do... If you want to do that, you want to go delayed early recon, like early mid-game recons. Because if you look at, like, you buy the recon early, And what does it see? Well, it sees nothing because there's nothing out there yet. So the recon, if you're trying to get early vision in that case, it's kind of pointless. I'll go up. Oh, look, I see infantry. It's like, oh, of course you see infantry. That's what's going to be there. There's not enough units out on the map to actually spot stuff. So instead, if that's your more approach you like to go, I would suggest early tanks, and then you follow that up with recons, and you just have the early tanks. You don't send them forward to attack stuff. You just have them sit around and watch your captures that are likely to be attacked by early recons. There's a tank sitting over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it covers these 2 captures. Maybe it'll be 1 down, so it covers this guy too. And then the early recon comes up and they're like, ah, I smack, and the tank says, you're dead. We are going to get 1. I think could go down here, I guess. But 1 strike with the recon. This is a pretty nice spot to strike from. Ish, I'll say. What's nice is that you'll see the tank coming, because if a tank was coming down here, it would go into this forest, and you'll see it crossing through the city. But you don't actually know if there's a tank there yet, because there could have been a tank hiding in the forest, and you'll just lose the recon. Now the recon knows to run. In this situation as Slyfox, you just continue this capture, and then you send this infantry down to start this capture, and the recon doesn't have a great option. As we send this guy down too. It just kind of has to back away. Now, yeah, you gotta stay and capture, and you're like, okay, recon, if you want, you can stay and finish me off, but then I just kill you. And it's just gonna be an infantry for a recon. Because the tank covers this city and this city. But as is now, the recon can just kind of leave and it's already done its damage. Ooh, very sad recon. Gonna get killed off. If your opponents got vision over like the reinforcement route, then I would not send the recon past it. That's a little dangerous because this is like a Kindle mirror. So the number one thing you're usually relying on is the recon sits on the city, and it's always a threat of, sure, your tank and recon kill my recon, but then I could have a tank ready to strike. But this recon's like, no, don't worry, man. There's no tank. I guess there could be a tank if it like skirted around the edges. But I'd be feeling pretty confident. Ooh, it lived? Oh, it's because there's no comm tower. Well, that's great news for Yellow Comet. Okay, copter makes sense. It's a pretty straightforward or strong airport. So I'd either start building copters or start building anti-air at that point. Either would be fine. Looks like both people are going to go for the copters. Ah, yeah, this is where if you go the tank heavier opening, and you just kind of have tanks staring at the captures you're going for. They just, every time they go for this attack, they cry. Even if they don't kill, or even if they kill the infantry, don't kill it, walk up, kill their recon. Honestly, though, this is totally fine for Slyfox. This guy can walk away to survive, and then an infantry can strike from the city. And then the recon can strike here, and you bring the tanks over. Smack, and then send this guy over and finish it off, probably. Or go for the capture, I guess. I think I would prefer to finish off this infantry, because you don't know what's down in the darkness. Ooh, I do like this. So the recon finishes off this recon, which is, pretty nice. But then it's also blocking this tank from actually getting the hit up here, which is really nice. There's kind of a free harassment over here. I would definitely have this recon go for the strike. And we do. I would just do it earlier because then you get information about what's going on. Ooh, copter outside of the vision range. Very nice. Building double recons. Definitely like the vision. It might be a little early to go for double recons. That's more of something you want to do mid-game once you have a nice standing army. So you can actually do something about the information you get. Ends up being a recon for a recon trade. HP-wise, not amazing. It's like a 10 health recon for a 1 health recon. But when you're dealing with recons, the HP doesn't matter so much. It's just about what kind of vision denial can you get. So it's kind of an even vision trade. And it stops this tank from getting smacked. Okay. Stop the comm tower cap. Start the comm tower cap. Seems good. A little gutsy to go in with the copter first, but it's going to work out in this case. I would have preferred if the strike over here with like tank and recon happens first, so you can make sure there isn't a copter or an anti-air. Because like if there was a copter here and it moved over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'd probably be on that mountain, so you can check for that. Because you'd be really worried about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hit you from the comm tower, one shot your copter kind of deals. So just check for that first, and then you can go in with the copter. Ugh. So here, 9 health should just finish off the city, and then put this guy on the city. Don't want to let the Kindle player get the strike from the city, even as Kindle. Things to keep in mind. Out. Starts the capture, gets a nice little interrupt over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You do get your own strike from the city, which is nice. It looks like you're going to get this comp tower for it as well, but nothing to deal with the copter. Okay. In comes the recon, checking for vision first. I like it. So we're going to fall back. Not going to fall into the copter trap. This is still dangerous. Like, this guy should not be standing next to a city. We'll see if Yellow Comet tries to punish it. Like, they can go... It would probably be full health tank plus infantry. Kills this infantry, 9 health tank just smacks this tank. They give up the comm tower capture, but they get like an amazing attack. And they can always just have another infantry go for the comm tower capture once they get that front. Down here is looking pretty nice. Obviously this map's very open, so lots of front shift opportunities. Ooh, Kindle not going for it. Or danubilo is not going for it. If they'd sent the recon in first, I think they would have done it, because they see like, oh, there's actually very little support for the attack up here, and this would just be a really nice pick off. But, I mean, getting the comm tower, making sure you have it, there's nothing wrong with that. The Urban Blight would potentially come to follow, and it could interrupt the comm tower capture, and that'd be annoying. Definitely stop standing on... No. So when you're fighting against Kindle, especially if the Urban Blight's in range, you don't go for the repairs, you don't just stand on cities. When you're against other COs, then you can do that kind of thing. But all right. look, you're trying to get your last bit of charge. This is like a last resort kind of way of getting a last bit of charge. I see other attacks that are possible that are a little more positive. How much charge do you need? You need 1,500. I guess can't quite get there. Like the tank, the infantry sacrifice is going to be a little bit too little. So you just send the whole tank. It's still a little dicey. We go Urban Blight. Pop, 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 pop. End of the turn, Urban Blight. It does get a nice hit on this copter guaranteed, and quite a few of Danubilo's units are also sitting on cities, so it's going to work out. But you couldn't actually see that, and you when fighting someone, you kind of have to expect that they're not chilling a bunch of units on cities, and instead kind of save the Urban Blight for nice pickoffs. Always forget for the first and second Urban Blight. Oh no, Kindle messes with your head. You're playing Kindle. Okay, so we get a really nice Urban Blight turn here. Even ignoring all the like stuff chilling on cities that shouldn't be chilling on cities. What's nice is that the Urban Blight sets up for a nice break on this city and then like a strike from the city. Although I don't know if we actually have the breakthrough capabilities right now. Doesn't look like we do, so that's actually holds, and we don't have like the... I guess the extra like 10% defense is probably going to be enough to make a breakthrough over here. Okay, artillery start moving out. I'm not... Well, I guess it's entering into the mid-game, so artillery are going to be a lot better now. Early game artillery are probably a bit iffy unless you're trying to control the comm tower area a bit. Just because it's so open, and the artillery do have a tough time going for positional plays. Ooh, starts capturing the comm tower. Got a nice attack over here for sure. This copter is still unanswered. Anti-air is on its way, but it does kind of get the feast for now. It's kind of forced into it too. It has no escape route other than attacking stuff. Ooh, and it gets to hit from the city. Really nice pickoffs. Yellow Comet. Go for a strike over here. Let the city go. That's okay. This poor infantry is going to get taken out and coalesce around the artillery. And this is where, as Yellow Comet, you just have to make sure that you don't overextend the army, and then you're probably gonna be fine. If you're up in income, like Yellow Comet is right now, up 2k, then every turn that passes, your army should be getting stronger than the opponents, and so the pressure is kind of on them to make a move. Ooh, Yellow Comet going for the comm tower. Sees that there's a lot of units up here. Backing away from it. I'm gonna try and like trade areas. And there comes in and gets a kill. Strike from the city. Medium tank's on the way, but the medium tank has to sit on the city. Oh no! Ah, that's the most direct route. You might go the indirect route like this, but that is expensive. Having to go through 2 forests and everything. Maybe that's like concave setup. But the one artillery here is definitely gonna get some stuff done. I think attacking and then like urban blighting on this turn will be really strong. Not as strong as I thought. It does clear the city. Most of the attacking up here has already been done, so there isn't like a huge bonus power. I don't know. I guess this tank is just gonna bide its time and try and pick off an anti-air later on. I bet Colemane's look at all those shoals just slowly get angrier and angrier. I know, it could have been roads. Alright, and pretty good response at the top. Artillery did get tagged, but that's a nice breakthrough. The bottom is looking real bad. So the trade is kind of happening. The concave was not enough for Yellow Comet. Yeah, there's really not great options currently to deal with this medium tank. And there's a recon to spot for it. 1, 2, 3. We might be able to even save the comm tower at the cost of a recon. Or slyfox. We'll see though. Sees all the blocking units, sees the 3 health unit on the comm tower. Recon does go in to deny it. I think that's probably worthwhile. Here comes the medium tank. Copter goes in for a strike. Hit the tank. That's looking pretty good. We can't save the city. That's okay. So many good attacks. Medium tank is covering everything. Okay. Actually aren't going from very many captures over here, but it is what it is. Losing one city does hurt. Ooh. Yellow Comet. Sending the recon in. Only recon on this front. To its certain doom. Probably not worthwhile. So these guys are kind of being sacked a bit. They definitely needed to fall back. But like nothing... I guess a copter can interrupt on the next turn. Or an urban blight at the start of the turn. Pick off the anti-air. This is where not having that recon is hurting a tiny bit because the artillery. Oh, it was here. Really nice artillery. Very, very dangerous, I will say, to put the artillery here. Right next to the comm tower, because it's not impossible for like a copter to have been coming down. Copter kills the T-copter, and then medium tank kills the tank, and then the tank hits you from the comm tower and hits your artillery. Like that definitely could have happened, but it doesn't. So the artillery is going to get a nice shot out here, but the medium tank's still going to be fine on this front. Whoa. I don't know what this dive in is. Oh, really? I think you just join cap this every time. Ooh, the artillery decides to kill a 6 health tank. Well, that should give a lot of information about what kind of units are coming in on this front. The only reason they'd ever do that is if they don't have any copters coming in. Absolutely wild that Yellow Comet is just like charging this corner so hard. Like, they're not in range of winning by capture, and they're going to lose so many units up here. And this artillery is going to die for a 6 health tank. In comes the recon, very nice. Bop, bop. I think this is fine. You can be like, yeah, my anti-air gets hit, but it's going to live. Or she's probably not going to live because they can Urban Blight. If they can Urban Blight, then I would probably just take this 3 health tank and stick it here and be really annoying. Because you have the good information. This copter actually lived at 3. It's not so bad. We do have a full bar of charge for Yellow Comet, but my gosh, Slyfox is up by so many units. Get this guy out of here. It's gonna, at best, it's gonna like trap a copter and then die. Find Urban Blight. Not so bad. Slyfox has started to play around them. Ooh, the Anti-Air even gets to live? Wow, this guy didn't even... Wow, okay. Things looking really good for Slyfox at this point. Not overextending. Should probably have started capture here. With the full health, because that actually puts the pressure on. Maybe you don't even start the capture here. I guess looking at Slyfox's current vehicle count up here, you don't really want to start a fight with this. Starting the fight down here makes a lot more sense. You got that medium tank. It's been doing work. It's going to continue to do work. Make sure you check with the recon before you send the valuable unit in. I think you'll be okay. Okay, the valuable unit's not going in at this point. All the backup is left. Okay. Dive in. Clear the way. Ooh, nice hit on the copter with the anti-air. Another Urban Blight. Urban Blight barely hit anything. Very good for Slyfox. Starts the comm tower capture. Sees the medium tank. Okay. I think this medium tank is still unknown at this point. Slyfox does get a city captured here. He's gonna get a bunch of little strikes. This tank is sitting next to the city. Just kind of gone. The medium tank is not known about. It's hiding in the woods. But it's kind of overloaded here. You even have the 2 different anti-airs, so the copter can't do much. Take out the recon. This medium tank isn't known about, so I think Yellow Comet's gonna get a nice hit. Oh wow. Actually perfectly played around somehow. Well done. Starts the capture, starts putting on the pressure. Things are looking really nice for, like, Yellow Comet's up in income and has been for a long time, which is kind of their saving grace in this game. But so far down in the unit count makes fighting on all these fronts so difficult. It takes a few Urban Blights before it finally clicks. True. Okay, does have the 2 copters that hit the medium tank. It works out. Medium tank backs up. Only 1 anti-air over here, but it's okay. Neo tank on the way down here. We have the medium tank up here, so Slyfox is just gonna kind of crush the top left. Smack, 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 and then the recon finishes it off. Oh, this is the classic. The medium tank, the only unit standing. That's its vision. It sees nothing. Oh, I remember back when I was first playing, and I was like, I'll play Sammy with infantry medium tank. And then my opponent I had like 5 medium tanks, a bunch of infantry, The idea being like the medium tanks will fight the tanks, and then the infantry will fight the infantry. But then their tanks just came in, killed every single infantry, and I just had 5 medium tanks standing around, unable to see anything. And I just kind of died. You just got trapped to death. Alright, down goes the anti-air trades for a copter. Not the worst. This medium tank got away. Yellow Comet does get this comm tower, which is definitely painful. Looks like this one's just going to get traded out, though, pretty easily. Start getting a bunch of these captures, thanks to having domination in the area. A whole bunch of free kills essentially happened up here. Although slyfox is losing a little bit of the unit count lead. It's still looking really nice, though. But unit value-wise, Yellow Comet's got it going on. That long-held income lead is doing work, even though it's about to go away. I'm pretty happy. I'm not super happy, but I'm pretty happy with this medium tank strike to interrupt this capture. I don't really like this one, as that tank's just gonna die, and it's not gonna delay that city long enough to like matter. Yellow Comet realizing, oh, this copter ran out of fuel. Yellow Comet realizing really big vision problems going on, goes for a triple recon turn. Bop, bop, bop. Ooh, okay. Kills off the medium tank. It's going to end up being a medium tank for a medium tank trade, most likely, but that's not the worst thing. We don't have an Urban Blight, a blind Urban Blight. Things are okay here. Infantry, it's really like the side play matters a lot. Okay. I assume we're sending the Neo tank forward. It must be scared, but I can't imagine it should be. If you've got Neo tank, it is going to be next to a city, which is dicey. But the artillery can cover it. Oh, the medium tank lives at 1. Decided to go after the artillery instead, I guess, with the tank. Okay. Urban Blight? Why? Definitely shouldn't have Urban Blighted that turn. Why'd the medium tank sacrifice itself to hit it? I guess it's to slow future captures down. Yellow Comet discovers the army by wandering into it. Has to commit everything over here to not just like lose all these units, but that could potentially mean losing all the units. Slyfox, unfortunately for Slyfox, used the Urban Blight on that last turn, where like this turn looks really nice for Urban Blight. Although you might be able to reach it. It's going to be expensive because quite a few have been used. Yeah, not really worth it now, even if you could reach it. Just doing some damage to the Neo tank. Yeah. Okay. Recon goes down. Getting a little low on the recon count, but there's still the backup one right here, so it's okay. Still a really nice unit count lead for Slyfox, and then Yellow Comet resigns. Even in income, the unit count is so difficult to manage. Because even if you're like clustering all their units to fight their big death ball, then there's all these side battles that Slyfox gets like 2 or 3 extra units in and everything. So well done. I think the opening phase of the game was pretty rough. Like getting smacked by their urban blights was not great, and getting kind of picked apart by the harassment. But you adapted, and it went very well with that. You didn't get greedy. So well played, well played. That's going to be the end of the stream for the day. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Here is your apple for the day / night. We're going to play around Kindle to start. Yeah, you gotta learn eventually. Everyone does. Everyone does. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins.